I knew the joke wasn't really a joke the moment she said it. The room was loud with music, chatter, and clinking glasses, but her voice cut through everything like a blade. What if we opened our marriage? Emma laughed, nudging me as if the idea were hilarious. But her eyes, those guilty, darting eyes, told a different story. People laughed with her. I forced myself to laugh too. I told myself it was just her way of being edgy, unpredictable. Fun. But the laugh tasted sour in my mouth. I should have walked away then. I should have asked questions. I should have followed the unease twisting in my stomach before it grew teeth. But instead I smiled, swallowed the discomfort, and stayed beside the woman I thought I knew. It was her sister, Lily, who finally shattered the illusion. Lily was the opposite of Emma. Quieter, sharper, someone who noticed things. She'd watched the whole exchange from across the room. A strange expression flickering over her face. Not amusement. Not embarrassment. Something closer to pain. Later that night, when the party dipped into that strange late-hour haze where everything feels too honest, Lily pulled me aside. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah," I said, though I obviously wasn't. She looked at me like she could see the lie, trace its outline, and place it gently back in my hands. "She shouldn't joke like that," Lily murmured. "It was nothing," I replied. Again the lie. Easier than admitting the truth. That the joke had pierced me in a place I didn't want to acknowledge. "You deserve honesty," she said. "Just remember that." I didn't understand then. Not fully. But I would. God, I would. It was close to midnight when the real unraveling began. Music softened. Conversations thinned. People drifted outside or toward the kitchen. Emma had disappeared somewhere, laughing as she went, promising she'd be right back. She didn't come back. I walked around looking for her, trying not to seem like the kind of husband who had to chase after his wife at parties. Someone handed me a drink I didn't want. Someone else congratulated me on not taking the joke too seriously. I kept moving. Then I saw Lily again, standing near the back hallway, her face pale. "Have you seen Emma?" I asked. She hesitated too long. "Yeah," she whispered. "But maybe you shouldn't." I brushed past her. Because in that moment I knew. Not the details. Not the shape of the truth. But the feeling. The dread. It was unmistakable. I walked down the hallway, each step heavier than the last. I heard muffled voices behind a cracked door. Emma's soft laugh mixed with a lower, male voice I didn't recognize. My hand trembled as I pushed the door open. Inside, two shadows broke apart instantly. Emma froze, her lipstick smeared, her hair mussed, her eyes wide with the kind of guilt that doesn't need translation. The man beside her, a coworker she'd mentioned once or twice, stumbled back, straightening his shirt. "Michael," she breathed, as if saying my name would undo what I'd seen. "What the hell is this?" My voice was low, shaky, barely mine. This wasn't," she stammered, reaching for me. I stepped back, because touching her felt impossible. She looked suddenly small, like a kid caught doing something forbidden. Not a woman betraying her husband of 12 years. "It was a mistake," she whispered. "A mistake." I laughed once, bitterly. "That's funny. Because tonight you were joking about opening our marriage. Turns out you already did." Her face crumpled. But the worst part, the part that would haunt me, was the look in her eyes when I said it. She wasn't devastated at being caught. She was devastated that I'd found out. That was the truth. And it hit me with the force of a wrecking ball. I don't remember leaving the room, or the house, or how I ended up sitting alone on the cold porch steps. People were still inside laughing, drinking, unaware that my world had detonated just feet away. I stared out into the night, the cold sinking into my bones. Betrayal has a way of numbing you before it starts burning. A soft voice broke the silence. "Michael." It was Lily. She sat beside me without waiting for an invitation. For a moment neither of us spoke. "You knew," I said quietly. She flinched. "Not everything. But I suspected." "How long?" My voice cracked. "Months," she admitted. I tried to talk to her. She kept telling me it was nothing. That she could handle it. That you wouldn't find out. I closed my eyes. The darkness behind them felt easier than the truth in front of me. "I didn't want to be the one to tell you," she continued. I hoped she'd stop. I hoped she'd realize what she was risking. But tonight, when she made that joke, I knew it was getting worse, not better. That joke, I whispered. God, I thought I was imagining things. You weren't. Silence again. Heavy, suffocating. Then she said something I never expected. She doesn't deserve you. She thinks love is something she can stretch, twist, replace when she gets bored. You loved her with your whole heart. She loved the feeling of being adored. Her voice cracked. Surprised me. But what surprised me more was the sudden impulsive movement. Lily leaning in, pressing a small trembling kiss against my cheek. Soft. Quick. Emotional. Not romantic. Painful. I'm sorry, she whispered. For all of it. Her tears fell onto my shoulder, warm against the cold night. Why did you kiss me? I murmured. She pulled back, wiping her face. Because someone needed to show you that you're not unlovable. That not everyone lies to you. And for a moment, one stolen, impossible moment, her kiss made everything clearer. Not better, but clearer. It exposed the truth Emma had buried so deeply behind lies, jokes, and late-night phone calls. I had been loving her alone. Completely alone. Emma came outside eventually, mascara smudged, breath shaky. Michael, please. We need to talk. Lily stood immediately. He doesn't owe you anything. Stay out of this, Emma snapped. Why? Lily shot back. You weren't exactly discreet. Lily, I said gently. It's okay. She hesitated, then walked inside, shoulders stiff, protective until the last second. Emma sat beside me. I didn't move. I'm so sorry, she choked out. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. You didn't mean to get caught, I corrected. She winced. Why? I asked. Just tell me why. She wrapped her arms around herself. I felt invisible. I was drowning in routine. I needed to feel wanted again. And he made me feel alive. The words stabbed deeper than the act itself. You could have talked to me, I whispered. We could have fixed things. I know, she sobbed. I was scared. And then it went too far. And I didn't know how to stop. I finally looked at her. Really looked at her. And I realized something heartbreaking. The woman in front of me, the one crying, shaking, apologizing, was not the woman I'd married. That woman died quietly somewhere along the way. Replaced by someone who needed validation more than loyalty. Someone who mistook attention for love. Someone who didn't see the devastation she was crafting until it was too late. I loved you, I said softly. More than anything. She reached for my hand. For the first time in my life, I pulled away. When I stood to leave, she whispered the last words I ever expected. Can we fix this? I shook my head. Some things, I said, don't get rebuilt. They get buried. And without waiting for her reply, I walked away from the house, the party, the deception, the woman I thought was my forever. Behind me, I heard her sob. But in front of me, quiet, uncertain, painful, was something I hadn't felt in months. Myself. And that truth, however brutal, was finally enough.